I am Dr. J. Shymaladevi, Department of Commerce, JJ College of Arts and Science, Pudukkottai. Today we are going to see about a law of demand. First of all, what is demand? Demand means desires to buy a commodity with adequate purchasing power at particular point of time. Demand has three important factors like desire, purchasing power and time. Without any one of these three elements, demand will not be fulfilled. Now, law of demand. Law of demand states that other things remaining constant, the quantity demanded extends with a fall in price and contrast with a rise in price. That is to say, inverse relationship between quantity demanded and the price. In simple language, a person will purchase more of a commodity when its price falls. He will purchase less of it when its price rises. When the price is increases, the demand will be decreases. When the price decreases, the demand will be increases. The sales of the product depends upon the demand for the product. When the demand for the product increases, the production and sales of the product will be increases. There are many diverse factors which determine the demand for the product. What are the factors influences and what are the factors determining the demand for the product? Price of the product, income of the buyers, price of substitute commodities competing that product, availability of credit, buyers' taste, preferences and status, geographical location, change in weather conditions, expected future trends in prices, advertisement and sales promotion methods. So these factors affecting the demand independently. The law of demand operates only if these factors remaining unchanged or constant. This is individual demand schedule for wheat, the price and demand. This demand schedule shows that how much of a commodity is purchased in a particular market at different prices. This is Alfred Marshall's contribution to the techniques of price theory. It is a list of prices and quantities. It is very clear from this schedule that when the price of wheat is at 40 rupees, the consumer demands 2 kgs. When the price falls from 40 rupees to 32 rupees, the consumer has to demand for 6 kgs. When the price falls still further to 20 rupees, the consumer could purchase 12 kgs. With the help of this demand schedule, we can draw demand curve. This demand curve is based on a demand schedule. X-axis represents quantity of wheat and y-axis represents price of the wheat. DD is a demand curve. Demand curve slope downwards from left to right. This is because of the inverse relationship between the price and quantity demanded. Why does the demand curve slopes downwards from left to right? There are three reasons such as operation of the law of diminishing marginal utility. The additional units consumed or purchased give leisure and leisure utility or satisfaction. So, the additional units consumed it give leisure and leisure utility and satisfaction. Similarly, the consumer will never pay a price or money value more than the marginal utility of commodity. Therefore, the consumer will not buy a large quantity unless the price is low. The law of demand is merely a corollary from the law of diminishing marginal utility. Second one, income effect. The fall in the price is equivalent to an increase in the income of the consumer, and this gives the effect of increase in real income for him to purchase more. Substitution effect. If the price of a commodity falls, it will be substituted for costlier things and the quantity of demand will go up. Next, the exception to the law of demand or perverse demand curves. The law of demand is only a general statement telling that prices and quantities of a commodity are inversely related. There are certain peculiar cases in which the law of demand will not hold good. In those cases, more will be demanded at a lower prices. The demand curves in those cases will not conform to the usual shape and the exceptional demand curve or perverse demand curves. There are 5 different cases of exception to the law of demand. One is prestige goods. Articles of prestige value or articles of conspicuous consumption and are demanded only by the rich people, and these articles become more attractive if their prices go up, and they will not conform to the usual law of demand. This was found out by Veblen in his doctrine of conspicuous consumption. So, this effect is called a Veblen effect. Second one, speculative goods. In the speculative market, particularly in stocks and shares, more will be demanded when the prices are rising and less will be demanded when the price declines. Third one, Giffen effect or Giffen paradox. Robert Giffen discovered that the poor people will demand more of inferior goods if their prices rise and demand less if their prices fall. Poor people consuming large amount of inferior cereals will find their real money income falling. When the price of inferior goods rise, they will reduce the expenditure on other superior items, conserve their little income and demand more of the inferior commodity. Fourth one, demand for necessaries. The law of demand does not apply in the case of necessaries of life. Irrespective of price changes, people have to consume the minimum quantities of necessary commodities. Fifth one, scarcity, inflation, etc. The law of demand will not operate in times of acute scarcity or shortage of commodities. So the people will become panicky and buy more when prices are rising. When there is hyperinflation, people will demand more and more, fearing that prices would still further go up. These are all the exceptions to the law of demand. Thank you.